Doubleheader on Father's Day. We're wishing all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day. The Mariners coming off a win yesterday. An interesting pitching matchup tonight between Zach Hess and McGowan from Holy Cross. As the national anthem is about to be sung, so we'll be right back with the first pitch. Stay tuned. And welcome back into Arnie Allen Diamond at Gulf Fuller Field from Falmouth, Massachusetts. So play ball has been announced, and we're almost ready to get underway here. But as I was saying before the national anthem came on, Zach Hess going against Patrick McGowan tonight. So Zach Hess going for the Harwich Mariners and McGowan going for Holy Cross. And then in game 2 will be Kyle Baranovich going against TJ Sycamore. So tons of baseball they played today after last night's victory over the Gatemans. Final score of 2-0. We'll take a quick recap through that game yesterday. Mariners scored 2 runs on 9 hits, while holding the Gatemen to 4 hits throughout the game, including outstanding pitching from Buckner, their starter, and their bullpen from Portamani to Christian Santana and Andrew Miziasic to close out the game for the Mariners last night. As the Mariners try to win back-to-back games, is currently 2-3 on the season, half a game back out, out of first place. 2-1 at home, 0-2 on the road, and 0-2 against their Western Division foe. So I'm Thomas Inzarella here with my broadcast partner Austin Rooney with first pitch about to be underway. Austin, what do you expect to see from the Mariners this afternoon?
Well, the Mariners need to get more hitting and with runners in scoring position, and that was crucial last night. The Mariners got just 1 hit with runners in scoring position. They need to do a better job of that tonight. One of the runs they scored was via a walk, so if the Mariners can get hits with runners in scoring position, they should be absolutely fine tonight. They've got some really, really good starting pitchers going with Zach Hess and Kyle Baranovich, so they're going to have an opportunity to win both of these games tonight. We'll have to see if their hitting can come through as well.
Yeah, the hitting was key last night. As I scored, as I said before, got 9 hits, but only 2 runs to show for. So we'll see if they can try to vamp up their offense here, as we saw some signs of life last night. Have not scored more than 3 runs in a game this year. Scored 3 runs in the home opener win against Orleans back on June 12th. And then they scored 3 runs and they lost in Hyannis on the 14th. So McGowan, as I said before, Patrick McGowan out of Holy Cross. Went 2-5 with a 3.11 ERA for the Crusaders this year. Another guy from the Northeast we have seen. McGowan, a right-hander, 6 foot, 190. Leading off for Harwich, from Wellesley, Massachusetts. As Cam Thompson steps in, getting back-to-back games in the leadoff spot. Playing short tonight as he steps in now from the left side.
Couple of hits from Cam Thompson yesterday, had a double to lead things off, and then a single in the 4th inning.
He also had 2 walks to his name in yesterday's 2-0 win. As righty-lefty matchup now. First pitch is lined over towards second. On hop, kept in front of him is Cottrell. Cottrell picks it up, throwing to first for out number 1. So Cottrell moving his body to the side there to his left and able to keep it in front of him.
Very nicely done by Cantrell. Knocks the ball down. It's what coaches preach from their youngest days. Get in front of the ball, knock it down if you can't glove it. He did that perfectly, fielded it, and threw to first.
It's all about those fundamentals. So McGowan, 1 pitch, 1 out. Here is the designator Chris Gallen steps in out of Boston College on the right side. First pitch fastball right down Main Street for strike 1. So again, it's showing speed at the top of the order with Gallen. Thompson leading off. As the 0-1 to Gallen is popped up just above towards the home plate. The first baseman will come in and make the grab. So Sims makes a catch there for out number 2.
Now batting.
It is a steamy day here in Falmouth.
Number 13, Andre Lipsius.
Temperature in the mid-80s. Not a lot of wind going on here. As Andre Lipsius steps in from the right to the right side, the first baseman out of Tennessee. First pitch misses in the dirt for ball 1.
Lipsius had a 4-game hit streak going into last night. That was snapped, but still he's been one of the better hitters for the Mariners thus far.
Yeah, Lipsius has got a key couple RBIs for the Mariners this year. As he awaits the 1-0 from McGowan, fastball in there for strike 1 on the outer half. So yesterday the Mariners collect 2 hits to start off the bottom half. The first is off speed is in there for strike 2 to Lipsius. He's down now 1-2. Mariners able to scratch a runner off in the bottom of the first thanks to a Tanner Morris fielder's choice. Morris is the first game off as pitch bounces in the dirt to Schaefer. So count evens now at 2-2. McGowan gets a sign from the windup. The 2-2 is slashed over to third, backhanded by Cannon. Throw on the first across the diamond. Is for out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning for McGowan to start things off here in the top half of the first inning. Still 0-0 score. Listen to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. And welcome back inside to Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth as Zach Hess will make his first start in the Cape League for the Mariners this year, a native out of Lynchburg, Virginia. Stands 6'6", 200 pounds. Big right-hander. As he'll face off against the center fielder Will Brennan, who steps on the left side.
And Zach has a big right-hander. He can throw as high as 95. So look for him to pound those strikes, pound the fastballs in the strike zone, get ahead in hitters, and then possibly look to put him away with the off-speed.
The first pitch fastball just misses outside. The 1-0 to Brennan, just off the plate again, so count moves to 2-0. Brennan batting .286 this year, 4 for 14 with 1 double. The 2-0 to Brennan. That one finds the zone there on the inner half for a strike, so Hess tries to mount to come back here. As Brennan's ahead now, 2-1. From the windup, he deals. That is chopped over the head of Hess, and it will find its way into center field as Casals try to backhand it a bit, but had too much speed on that one. So a leadoff single for Brennan.
Yeah, it's a seeing eye single right up the middle. It goes directly over second base, and the shortstop and second baseman Thompson and Casals converged, but neither of them was able to get a glove on that ball.
So another left-hander standing in now is Hayden Contrell, second on the team in average with a .364 average. As Brennan leads off with first, takes his secondary. Fastball just misses outside again for ball 1. Contrell's got 4 RBIs to his name so far. He has a triple as well. Only triple on this Commodores team. So the righty-lefty matchup now. Fastball misses just below the knees for a ball. So Contrell is up on the count here, 2-0. Still nothing game here in the bottom half of the first inning. Runner on first with no outs. Fastball misses up and away now. Control ahead now, 3-0. So Brennan off at first. As Control rates the 3-0. Fastball at the knees for strike 1.
And Cantrell is a former 40th round pick of the New York Yankees in the 2017 MLB draft. See a lot of these guys get drafted in the later rounds when they're already committed to go to colleges.
Teams try to lure him out there as a 3-1 is just hammered down on the ground foul.
A lot of times the players will get drafted much more highly after their junior season when they are drafted again out of college.
He was actually the first ever player from his high school drafted out of high school. As the full count now, as runners running, has fouled off behind home plate. So Brennan looking to do a little running here as the 3-2 was fouled off. That's the payoff pitch from Hess. Waits a minute. And decides to fire towards home. Strike 3 is in there, and the throw down from Driscoll goes over the shortstop's head. Just out of Thompson's reach, but it's a good throw anyway. As Contrell is down on strike, so picks up.
16, Logan Davidson.
And good awareness in the outfield by Watson. Watson sees the ball's going into center field, immediately charges, and that makes Will Brennan stay at second base, can't advance to third.
Yes, Brennan popped up on his slide. He was looking towards third, but Watson was backing up. We talk about the fundamentals, and that's just one of them right there. As Logan Davidson, the shortstop, steps in the left side, takes a fastball at the belt for strike 1.
The umpires round the diamond. Chris Burstow behind home plate. At first base, Anthony Letizio. And at third base is Mickey Garcia.
So Brennan off a second here with 1 out in the bottom of the first. As that was chopped over the first base line for strike number 2. Commodores looking to plate their first run of the night to break this 0-0 game. That's reading the sign from Driscoll. Comes set now. The 0-2. Swung on and miss. Another big strikeout for Hess, so that's back-to-back now. After getting the leadoff single to Brennan. So he tries to get out of the jam now.
Yeah, and Zach Hess is using his fastball very effectively early on in this game, throwing it for strikes, throwing it out of the zone, and getting hitters to swing and miss. It's been a very good start to Zach Hess's game.
So the first baseman now is the first lefty up now for the Commodores is Davis Sims, the first baseman. Trying to play to run here with Brennan off to second. As Hess's first pitch is fouled back into the screen for strike 1.
And Davis Sims out of Murray State hit .357 this season. Also had 52 RBIs. Very strong season for the redshirt sophomore.
Was freshman year back in 2017. The redshirt freshman was freshman All-American. Ohio Valley Conference Rookie of the Year. As pitch dips in the dirt as he holds up the stop sign to Brennan at second. Driscoll doing a good job there not to let Brennan advance 90 more feet. So the 1-1 from Hess. Fastball misses inside as Sims backs off the plate here. Count heads to 2-1. So 2 men out with Brennan off a second. Still 0-0 game in the bottom half of the first inning. Commodores trying to strike first here. As the 2-1 to Sims. Fastball is hammered out towards right. Rivera on to Chase, moves over 2 steps to his left and makes the catch. So the Commodores leave 1 man aboard here. As it's still a 0-0 game at the end of 1. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
Fans, try your hand at
And welcome back inside Gov Fuller Field from Falmouth, Massachusetts. So 0-0 game at the end of 1. As the Mariners try to change that with their number 4, 5, 6 hitters up. Nate Eichhoff, Zach Watson, and Ben Norman.
Eichhoff had the night off last night in the cleanup spot tonight.
As first pitch is swung over on the ground towards Contrell. Contrell goes on to one knee, throw on the first. is in time for out number 1. So back-to-back innings now starting off with a first pitch ground ball out to second.
Now batting, the center fielder from LSU.
As Eichhoff has retired 4-3 in the scorebook. As the center fielder from LSU, Zach Watson, heads to the right side of the plate.
You've seen Zach Watson in a few different spots in the lineup. Was the leadoff hitter when he came in versus Wareham the first time on the road. We also saw him in the number 2 spot and now finds himself right in the middle of the order in the 5-hole.
Takes a first pitch fastball in the inner half for strike 1.
And Coach Engler said he's still sort of using the lineup at his discretion, trying to figure out exactly who he thinks should be where.
As the 0-1 fastball misses just above the letters now. So count evens now at 1-1. So waits the 1-1 from McGowan. McGowan, one off-speed pitch just misses a little high. Didn't come down exactly right, so Watson's ahead now, 2-1. McGowan making his Cape League debut. Here is the 2-1 is just fouled on the ground down the third base line. Foul. So count evens now at 2-2. So still nothing game here in the top half of the second inning. They're still trying to get their first hit of the day. As the 2-2 is rolled over on by Watson, charging in bare hand. Throw over to first is wide. However, great stop by Sims at first after Cannon had to rush that throw with Watson's speed. And
yeah, Watson's speed is the entire reason that the throw was offline, that he had to bare-hand it. Fantastic job running down the line as it forced Cannon to field it with the bare hand and throw across the diamond in a hurried way.
So that will go as a hit for Watson. So just like that, they have one man on with one out. The top of the second. Ben Norman steps in the left side, playing left field again tonight. As McGowan will step off and check on Watson at first. However, he's back in safely. Norman having a solid year, .333 in the Cape League so far and 15 at-bats. As the first pitch of Norman is Scott out towards shallow left. Going over is Foster, and it'll bounce in for a base hit, so it slices right perfectly in line.
That ball is about 5 feet and less than 5 feet inside the left field line for a base hit. And there was no way Foster was going to get there because of how shallow it was in left field.
I couldn't quite tell from this angle whether it was fair or not, so I had to wait for the umpire, and played umpire Chris Burstow making everybody know that was fair ball. So back-to-back hits now with one away for the Mariners as Logan Driscoll steps in, the catcher from George Mason. You're in an early RBI situation. First pitch from McGowan is at the knees for strike 1.
One runner in scoring position with one out. The Harwich Mariners need to find a way to drive in runs. They had trouble doing it last night. Let's see if they can figure out a way to do it tonight.
Mariners left 12 men on base last night. That is an awfully good amount, and even if they could have scratched across maybe 2 more runs, it would have been a different game. As another pitch is in there for strike 2. Driscoll's down the hole now, 0-2. McGowan trying to work his way out of a jam he's put himself a little into here after back-to-back singles by Watson and Norman. As the 0-2 is skied out into foul ground as Schaefer will take a look, but it's over the bleachers on the right side, so they'll do it again now, 0-2. So from the stretch, reading his sign now is McGowan. He comes set now. Runners on first and second with one out. Off-speed pitch in the below the knees is a check swing from Driscoll, but he doesn't go fishing there. It's a tough take for Driscoll, able to lay off it. It's the 1-2. Driscoll hammers that one on a line, but just a little early on that one as it goes towards the bullpen in right field. So count still 1-2 here with one away. Watson off a second, Norman off a first. Norman's not being really held on at first as Sims is playing back, so he could extend, maybe even go towards home if anything in the gap.
I don't think there's much of a threat right now to steal because it would have to be a double steal with both players. While it's possible, I think the Mariners are content to have one runner in scoring position right now.
So after time was called, Driscoll back in the batter's box on the left side as over the top curveball misses. Above the letters for ball two. That one might have slipped a little bit from McGowan. Didn't get as much dip as it usually would. McGowan set from the belt. The 2-2 to Driscoll. Fastball is hammered on a line, and that will drop in for a base hit in front of, as that will come in home. As Marcel.
A really good piece of contact there from Logan Driscoll, who lines that ball into right field. And by the time Maisel makes a play out there in right field and throws it home, it probably would not have been in time to get Zach Watson at home, but he's held at third base nonetheless by Coach Pascarosa.
He's trying to play station-to-station baseball here. Trying to really, that was so hard hit out to Maisel, out and right. I mean, a chance of scoring was less than likely. As now Gabe Rivera, the right fielder, into the right side. Ready matchup. First pitch misses low and away for ball one. So Rivera of the University of Miami batting .333 this year in 12 at-bats, 4 for 12.
And Rivera got off to a very strong start in the first game versus Orleans with 3 hits.
As that one is skied up, popped up towards the first base side. Heading back is Sims, and that will drop in near the bullpen. As Maisel came running over, even lost the lid. But a lot of room down there. That's a lot of ground to cover. A little bit wider on the right side than the left side. So anything popped up near the first base side, it could be playable. It's almost like the Rogers Center up in Toronto. As the 1-1 to Rivera is in at the knees for strike two.
I think at this point it's crucial the Mariners are able to drive in one of these runs, whether it's with the ground ball or a sac fly. They need to find a way to get one run in here in the top of the second.
Yeah, bases are loaded after 3 singles in a row have led to this situation as they try to break through this 0-0 lead. Nothing ties. Rivera hammers one down the left field line, and being waved around is Norman. Norman will score, and holding up at third is Driscoll. So that will be a 1-out double for Gabe Rivera, and just like that, the Mariners are on top now, 2-0.
And the Mariners' bats are really clicking right now. That is 4 consecutive hits for the Mariners. A single by Watson, a single by Norman, a single by Driscoll, and then driving in 2 runs with a 2 RBI double is Gabe Rivera.
So we talk about those timely hits, and, you know, it will come around. It's just a matter of time of when they can hit with runners in scoring position. That's a big hit for Rivera to put the Mariners on top as Danny Casals tries to keep the inning going here with 1 away. Runners on second and third. 2-0 Mariners lead. Off-speed pitch misses in the dirt for ball 1. So McGowan trying to stop the bleeding here with 1 away. 4 hits in the inning so far as Casals going to check his swing, but it's in there anyway for a strike. So count evens now at 1-1. McGowan from the stretch, looks back, Driscoll at third. The 1-1 bounces in the dirt for a ball, so Casals is now ahead now, 2-1. It's a steamy day here in Falmouth. Temperature is around 84 degrees. Fastball misses high for a ball. So count runs now to 3-1. And that could be a big factor late in the game, especially when you have these long innings out here in the sun.
It could be. In Casals here, he's up in the count. He already has had a walk in a quarter of all of his plate appearances.
As fastball's at the knees for a strike, as he was ready to walk towards first base, but ask the home umpire. So the full count here from McGowan. The 3-2 from the belt is chopped over just foul down the third base line. As Cannon was ready to backhand that one. Would have been a tough play, but
the Mariners already in the top of the second inning, doing better with runners in scoring position than they did last night. 2 base hits, although only 1 scored a run.
all you got to do is find a way on. Give yourself an opportunity with men on. Anything can happen. You're always one pitch away as Casals calls for time. Head back in now to the back of the batter's box as he digs in for a big pitch here with 1 out. The 3-2 is pops up and fouled out of play. Still do it again here at 3-2.
Pitch number 8 of the at-bat upcoming to Danny Casals.
So 4 straights hit since the opening ground out from Eichhoff. So he tries to continue that streak as the 3-2 is foul tipped into the screen, just staying alive here. The more pitches he sees, the higher chance that McGowan may make a mistake in the zone.
And I think it's important that Casals finds a way to put this ball in play. A ground ball or a fly ball, again, either of those should be able to score a run with the infield back.
Fly ball would score a run for the Mariners as they try accidentally 2-0. As just misses high as Casals checks swing, and he'll take his base at first. So the bases are loaded again here for the second time this inning.
It's a huge 9-pitch walk from Danny Casals. Does a nice job working McGowan and then gets himself on base as well.
So Cam Thompson now, the shortstop, stepping in the left side as he moves some dirt around. Here with 1 away in the top half of the second. 2 runs already crossed. 4 straight hits and a walk now have led to those runs. As first pitch fastball's at the knees for strike 1. McGowan really in a big jam here, trying to work his way out. As the 0-1 from McGowan from the stretches, foul back behind home plate for strike 2. Thompson batting .385 on the air, the native of Pasadena, Texas, including a OPS of over 1,000.
An OPS on base plus slugging.
As that was hammered back up the middle through a diving Contrell, and that will fall in for a base hit. 1 run's already in, being waved around is Rivera, and he'll score as well. So a base hit from Thompson, plates 2, and the Mariners now double their lead here, 4-0 in the top half of the second inning.
It's a seeing eye single right up the middle, directly over the second base bag, and the shortstop Davis, along with Cantrell, the second baseman, are both diving for that ball, but neither one could get a glove on it. As a result, slowly rolls into center field, and 2 runs come around to score for the Harwich Mariners.
It's a perfectly placed ball up the middle as Chris Gallons, the designated hitter tonight from Boston College. Here with an RBI opportunity, runners on the corners.
And now 6 consecutive Harwich Mariners have reached base. 5 with singles, 5 with base hits, excuse me. Rivera had a double, and then 1 with the walk. That was Danny Casals.
The first pitch from McGowan is low and away for a strike. Now looking for his first RBI in this young Cape League year. That was a throw over from McGowan to check on Thompson at first. As you can see on that one, Casals is dancing down the third base line, just taking a look. As pitch just misses for ball 1. Count evens now at 1-1. So Mariners 4 runs on 5 hits in this half inning. At the top half of the second is running towards second as that was lined out to center. Thompson retreating now, however, tagging up from third is Casals, and he'll score. So the home plate umpires might be talking things over now. And
it looks like Thompson will be advancing over to second base as well. Or excuse me, Gallon is on first base.
Yeah, Gallon's on first base. Thompson on second. Casals is in. The umpires are discussing something. Maybe see if he left early or something like that. As Coach Engler now comes out to discuss.
And so what the Mariners are going to do is they were going to have, instead of having runners, would be the bases loaded with 1 out, they're going to take a runner on first, and the run will score. So that's a decision that Coach Engler decided to make, and the Mariners now lead 5-0.
Yeah, I think you're right. I take the run, especially with the way that the runs have not been really pouring across this year. As Lipsius chops one over to third, Cannon scoops it up, throw on the second for the force. So that would do it, but not before 5 runs from the Mariners on 5 hits. And then I'll lead this one going to the bottom of the second, 5-0. As you listen to Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.